I'm Brendan.
I'm Billy.
And we're Elixir Distribution.
Brendan and I have been best friends for about 35 years, a little bit more than that.
Yep.
And we came up with the idea for Elixir Vape Company on Christmas night, 2013. All the families were together. And we've wondered why, if you could vape nicotine, why you couldn't vape anything.
We came up with our apothecary line, and that it consisted of Awake, Breathe, Calm, and Enhance. And we realized they were very effective.
Vaping is all about efficacy, basically. The vaporizer unit produces droplets that are small enough, 0.05 microns or less, to pass through the gas exchange in our lungs and go directly into our blood system. So producing a much higher efficacy than ingestion, say. With ingestion, the best you could do is probably about 40% efficacy. With inhalation, you can go upwards 90%. Once I realized that it worked, but that was the eureka moment, and then a million doors just opened up.
Right.
And if we can make yerba mate work like that, we can make anything work like that. So then we quickly went to work. We created Breathe, Calm, and Enhance, and it was just, it's endless. We can do whatever we want with it now.
We brought in an anesthesiologist, a board-certified anesthesiologist, and we also brought in an herbalist who reviewed our products, reviewed our formulas, looked for interactions, and sort of gave us their sort of seal on that we were headed in the right direction. So the mission of our company is to develop next generation botanicals. We sort of set out to introduce a whole new generation of consumers to holistic solutions like we provide. With Botanica, which is a blend of green tea, yerba mate, passion flower, and burdock root. Again, it addresses all the different symptoms that you have when you're either moving away from smoking or getting yourself off of nicotine.
Nicotine is a stimulant. So we put two very gentle stimulants in there, but powerful. Green tea and yerba mate. And so that gives you that lift that you want. The first thing when you wake up is that lift. But we didn't want you jittery. So the number one reason that triggers nicotine use is stress. So we put in passion flower to address that stress. So you have energy, but you're calm.
We needed to create mainstream flavors that included Alterna to sort of help those who were already either vaping different flavors or were coming in from a situation where they were trying to get off smoking, and they could come in and get our Alterna flavors and quit smoking without getting hooked on nicotine.
What nicotine does is it raises your dopamine level to incredible levels. And any slide in dopamine level creates panic in your body. So your body naturally wants to bring that dopamine level down, and that creates panic and panic and panic. What Alterna does is it takes that panic away while your dopamine levels come down to normal levels.
And typically what we find is, folks who are committed within a week or two will, get through a couple bottles of Alterna, move away from smoking or nicotine, and then they'll be able to continue vaping for the healthy benefits. One of the amazing things about Botanica or Alterna is that it's not regulated as a tobacco product. Part of our mission is to create different devices that they can use our liquids in. For the health and wellness side, we've actually come up with a diffuser that's a smart diffuser. And then also for health and wellness, we look at devices that are much more consumer friendly. For example, I've got this kind of pod system. This is actually a vaporizer. This can be hung on a peg at a CVS or at a Whole Foods, where you can now purchase your breathing treatment in a vaporizer. So we make this very consumer friendly for a mainstream audience, and then we do a lot to educate the vape market about the power of botanicals. We've come up with products that we call cannabotanicals. For example, this is a butter. It's a topical cream. It's got CBD isolate in it, along with lemongrass and cocoa butter and shea butter, so it's really therapeutic. We've been doing research and development on tinctures. This one is a combination of sativa and CBD. And then we're also working on something called cannabotanicals. That's where we combine either CBD with our apothecary product to create Apothecary Plus, or we combine CBD and THC with things like passion flower and kava. So we've been experimenting with how we take our concept of next-gen botanicals and apply it to the legal cannabis space.
I think what we're really trying to do is there's a distinction, there's a line between vaping and between smoking and cannabis and health and wellness. And what we're trying to do is remove those lines and make it all one entity. And I think that with all of our products, with Apothecary, Alterna Botanica, and Canna Botanicals, and our CBD, I think that blurs those lines and makes it all one category, which is health and wellness.
When we look at the market, especially for vaping, right now they're trying to address about 15% of the population. Those are the people that still smoke. With our products, you're able to address 100% of the market, whether you're using our products to get away from smoking and nicotine, or you're using them for energy, or because you have allergies, right? Or someday we hope we're helping people with things like cancer or Alzheimer's, addiction, opiate addiction, all those kind of things that come along with the ability to take vaping and combine it with health and wellness, and then combine that with legal cannabis and blur the lines. You end up with a very large market and the ability to help touch a lot of people's lives. From an opportunity standpoint, we see the products being applicable to a whole variety of different markets. For example, there's the vaping market, which is currently about $4 or $5 billion a year, but it's projected to grow to greater than $30 or $40 billion a year. There's also the mainstream health and wellness, just the segment that's focused on herbal supplements, which is about $140 billion this year. And then if you add to that the cannabis market, which is forecast to be about 20 to 30 billion in revenue by 2020, you're looking at over 160, 170 billion dollars in annual revenue. You look at companies like Herbalife, which is a 5 billion market cap company. You look at companies like doTERRA, which is about 100 million a month in sales of essential oils, Young Living, Pharmaca, and more health and wellness brands that are, moving into upper echelons in terms of their size and their revenue.
What are we doing?
I love you. Sorry I don't feel well.
What does enable mean?
What?
It's hilarious.
What does enable mean?
Illegal?
You got to get that.
Enable.
Enable.
We're dads.
Allow you to?
We have families.
Yeah.
On a personal note, I just want to say that they made me wear pants for this.
And they're not even in the shot. That's enough.